Welcome back, everybody. It's a brand new episode of 5 Minute Majors. I'm your host, Derek Harper. Let's get right into it. It's been a couple weeks with the Thanksgiving break. Hope everybody enjoyed that with their families. But we've had quite a bit of news. Obviously, there's been a lot of impact in the junior A leagues with the BCHL and all the other leagues losing players to the CHL circuit because of the new NCAA regulation where players can now go to the NCAA from the CHL. So beneficial for the players, but the junior league is definitely hurting from this. Be interesting to see what comes of that in the future. Probably the players will be going to lower tier collegiate leagues because all the top tier NCAA Division One players will be going from the CHL. But that said, the WHL had 12 players go to the Team Canada development camp for the World Juniors coming up, but it was actually the OHL impressing with the most. I want to make sure that I have my number right here, but the WHL impressed with 12 players and the OHL 16, the QMJHL just two. However, the QMJHL did lead the way this week in the CHL's top 10 rankings, so congratulations to them. They led the way with four teams, the OHL and WHL each with three. So the OHL saw the London Knights, always a very successful team. Seems like they make a deep run almost every single season. Top spot, the Windsor Spitfires at 6 and the Kitchener Rangers at 7. The QMJHL, obviously, like I just said, they led the way with four teams. Drummondville, they landed at the 2 spot. Moncton at 3. This year's Memorial Cup host, the Rimouski Oceanic at 5, and the Chicoutimi Saguenay at 8. The WHL saw the Everett Silvertips check in at 4 and Tri-City at 9, as well as the Saskatoon Blades rounding it out at the 10 spot. But I think that just goes to show that it's a pretty even field there every week. It seems like the OHL kind of trades spots occasionally with the QMJHL as far as the number of teams leading the top 10 rankings. But we also have some other news. Monday, there was a massive trade, Lethbridge and Moose Jaw. Lethbridge acquired 2005 born forward Braden Yeager and 2005 born goaltender Jackson Unger in exchange for 2006 born forward Landon Ward, 2005 born goaltender Brady Smith, and a ton of picks as well as the rights to 2009 born defenseman Colt Carter. You can go to the WHL website or Lethbridge for the or Moose Jaw for the full trade. I mean, it's a ton of picks. Lethbridge is obviously going all in this year, trying to make a deep, deep run. We'll see what comes of that. But going back to the national team development camp for Canada, while they have sent a lot of players, especially the OHL and WHL, one guy who's not drafted, Gavin McKenna, obviously the cousin of NHL star Connor Bedard, and the most recent, or now not most recent, but second most recent exceptional player status. So he has some big time hockey talent in his bloodline. Gavin McKenna, he was one of those 12 players for the WHL, but he is quite impressed. He was named the WHL Player of the Week on Monday. He's the reigning WHL Rookie of the Year, and he was also named WHL Player of the Month for September, October. He's been a top skater in the WHL with 3 goals and 4 assists for 7 points and a +4 rating in 2 games this week. This past week rather. And so that also helped Medicine Hat to claw their way into first place in the WHL Central Division. Medicine Hat, another very talented team. We'll see what happens there. But there are also a flurry of NHL draft picks on that going to that camp. Obviously, you can't leave out Berkeley Catton, who was drafted by the Seattle Kraken, among many others. So I think it just goes to show you, like, players see that CHL route as a way to develop their talent because they know that now they can go to the NCAA from that if it doesn't pan out at the pro level. But it'll be interesting to see. We'll keep you updated on the whole NCAA with the CHL, and kind of the impact of that. There's been rumors that The USHL may lose some teams to maybe the OHL as they look to expand with all these rules now that players can go to the NCAA. So it's going to be very interesting to see over the course of the next year or so how that all works out. But we'll keep you posted on that. Oh, there is one other piece of news recently. Shouldn't come as a shocker to too many, but the 2026 Memorial Cup has been awarded. Kelowna, British Columbia, the Kelowna Rockets will be hosting that. It's a pretty big deal. They lost out in 2020, unfortunately, with the COVID pandemic. So they're kind of getting their rightful return and opportunity to host that. So good luck to them. As far as any news that will come up over the next week or so, we'll keep you posted in the next episode. I'll see you then.